Just went live as you said it, sir.
Excellent, well done. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent, thank you. I am now opening public comment at 6 o'clock. Caleb, you're right at the top of the hour here.
So as we were talking about a little earlier, the Laker bots were at the Meredith Old Home Day this weekend. We presented our robot and we were talking with a lot of community members all day. Homecoming week is coming up. That's going to be the 22nd to the 27th of September. There's going to be several games for everybody throughout the week. The lights and the pink volleyball game will be on Friday after school. And then the rest of the games will be posted on the website and on social media later. All of the middle high school went to the library to see the traveling Holocaust museum. That was cool. It was different from seeing it from like that perspective. And the students received a lot of praise from the library staff for their behavior and attention during visits. And next month, 7 through 10 is going to the Colonial Theater to watch The Diary of Anne Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And then fall athletics are happening now, games all the time and everywhere. That's what we got.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Caleb. Next up, we have minutes of August 12th, school board regular meeting minutes.
And those start on page 10.
I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes from August 12th.
Thank you, Jim. Is there a second?
I'll second this.
Thank you, Duncan. Is there any discussion, questions, or edits? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
Nancy is abstained.
Thank you.
Minutes are approved. Current bills.
Oh, my bad.
All right, that's okay, Mark. Ashley, you want
Sure.
That's page 21.
And I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
any questions for Ashley regarding the manifest?
I was good.
Would anybody like to
Moved as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Siobhan. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. You can start floating that around if you want, Ashley.
Thank you.
for Signatures.
You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary, enrollment report.
Yes, page 24.
Thank you.
Just a slight adjustment up, nothing significant. The report, we're at 906 students.
Okay. Any questions regarding student enrollment? Hearing none. Mrs. Moriarty, would you give us a staffing update, please?
Page 25. I'm pleased to report on page 25, you'll see that when we ran the report, we still had one opening for a paraeducator at ILES. We have a person who's in process, so we should be fully staffed there shortly. At Interlakes Middle High School, we had 4 openings at the time we ran the report. Now there are 3. So progress is being made. Better. It's better than it has been in a while. So that's encouraging.
Excellent. Any other questions for the superintendent? Hearing none. Next up, we have an update. Sidewalks look wonderful.
Yes. Wonderful.
No more tripping hazards.
No.
Anyway, sorry, Mary, you want to, or Brian, you can just go ahead and jump right into it.
I put his name right there.
Okay. So, yeah, we were able to get all the sidewalks replaced at the high school in time for buses to roll on last Tuesday. And we have some finishes and things that are still coming in, and we'll continue to build on that to really finish it off and clean it up. But the main infrastructure is complete and just in time. HVAC side of this project, we have powered the units. We've done some soft startup. All the ductwork's in for the whole project. And we're just kind of doing some programming, and we'll do an official factory representative style startup within a week or two, because we should be wrapped up with control side of things. So, but they're softly running on their own now, and everything's working, and they're here, and the ductwork's done. Boiler side of things, the high school is roughly 2 weeks ahead of the elementary. I would say high school startup looks to be about first week of October. And I would say the elementary is probably two weeks after that. So third, fourth week into October with that. But our fuel sources are in. We're running off the new propane exchange on the elementary now for the kitchen. So it's really just about getting all the parts and pieces finalized, piping, and again, the control side of things together and to start them up. So we're down to the last month of things, and we're looking good. We don't foresee any issues being able to finish this off right at the start of heat season. So.
Excellent. Good. Any other questions for Brian regarding the project?
I just want to say Orion loves the floor and sandwich. Very excited about that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we have great floor replacement and sandwich. That should last a very long time.
Great.
That's another 75 years.
So,
I have a question that's unrelated to your project, but who's responsible for the Menopause the Musical sign that's in front of the high school?
yeah. The sign company usually picks it up for them, but the theater group's responsible for it. But it usually gets delayed a little. If it goes too long, we'll take it. But they have people that come get it, and they should be coming to get it. And we usually have to bug them a bit.
Great. Thank you. Mrs. Moriarty, can you please give us an update on the Lakes Region Special Education Consortium?
I have some good news to report. CMF Kids, a program of Project Mountain Foundation, is funding a feasibility study in the amount of $30,000 to support our opportunity to look at increasing regional learning pathways for students with significant special education needs. The Franklin School District will be the fiscal agent for this, and so that will be getting underway shortly. The other piece that is a positive piece of news to report, we had asked for congressionally directed spending. You need to give a limit, a low limit, and our low limit was 225. Our high limit was 1.3 to support, again, increasing these pathways. Unfortunately, our low limit is what has maintained progress in the process of 225,000. So it's still in consideration. We will hear sometime in November if that is still in place. That money was specifically written to support an executive director for a development year to try to, again, organize a learning pathway regionally for students with significant special education needs. We're also working on trying to get some other conversations and partnerships going to, continue to raise this area of concern and need, and trying to build some other opportunities to help hopefully fund it and hopefully help coordinate. So, but good progress. A feasibility study, I think, is a really important step. And thank you to Project Mountain and CMF Kids.
Duncan.
I just have to say, I think that this is incredibly important, and I know that you've put a lot of effort into this over a long period of time, and it's exciting to see that some of this is coming together in a meaningful. So it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Project Mountain the one that, do they run a program for people with head injuries?
Yes.
and
They do.
spinal
Yes,
injuries?
they
That's
have-
what I thought, so that's
And
great.
they have a foundation that is incredibly generous and provides a lot of support throughout the state.
That's great.
Can you just remind me, I don't need all the towns, but how many
SAUs or
Oh, I
towns or
think the
inlets?
majority of the Lakes Region schools have.
Okay.
I don't have the number
Yeah.
off the top. I'd have to go count the MOUs that we signed. But it's the majority of, I think, of the Lakes Region has signed to participate. And
Okay.
so
Thought it was everybody but Alton,
I can't.
regardless, it's.
Yeah,
Because that goes down into
Yeah.
Alton, like Barnstead almost,
Yeah, I
right, that
think they may
whole
have
area.
signed. I'd have to go back.
But
and
then we
double
go
check.
west, like one of school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
I have a question about the manifest. Some of them have Mark's name and not Abe's. Is that?
Oh, that would be
It was,
good.
yes, it was probably timing.
8/28/25 is the date. I thought that was after when.
It is.
It is, yep. We can adjust that, but it's okay.
Just asking. All right.
Yes, thank you. Yep, that's an
Got a
adjustment.
quorum, right?
All right, I hope you've all had a chance to put Parent Square, get your app. and-
Sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't.
Mrs. Moriarty, would you like to talk about Parent Square? a little
So
bit?
I want to first thank Mr. Parsons for being a champion of Parent Square in our schools. And what I would say is what's great about Parent Square is there's some great metrics. So we are 100% contactable for all of our families. Right now, 91% are opting for email, 11% texts. There's 1,000 full parents that are in Parent Square. Only at this stage, 32% have accessed the app. I will say I had an interesting conversation on Saturday. I did some community outreach with the Old Home Day, trying to have people sign up for a new opportunity that we have. You have a postcard at your seat. This is to get people who do not have children in school, but still want to stay connected to what's going on. I was able to sign up 16 people that way. But I did have a conversation with some parents who had stopped by as well, that some of them actually prefer email over using an app. It sounded like they had app fatigue. So it was an interesting, perception, or perspective, I should say. We are planning to provide support at open houses to continue to try to get people to, to realize, that the app is accessible, making sure that they're getting in okay. The digest, I think, is nice for people because people have some preferences how they want to receive the communication. So that is one of the benefits of it. So, at this stage, I would say it's going smoothly, and we're going to continue to keep moving forward and keep adjusting. And I've been pleased with the way that it looks. I think it is a clean. It looks very clean.
Using it not in the app it seemed just as informational and easy to access as when I was in the actual app. It's
Yeah, me too.
different interfacing.
Yeah.
But it was.
I found using it on a web browser was
It was
also
fine,
yeah.
really, really
Yeah.
easy, and it's helpful to see some stuff written out.
Yeah.
Jim?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I would agree, but then I was also wondering, my daughter's teacher, my older daughter's in third grade, uses it very proactively, and I can see that, and puts all the special schedules in there
Yeah.
for us, links to Google Docs, is obviously very good at using it.
Yeah.
So I've heard some feedback that maybe other teachers aren't as proactive or as good. Are we gonna kind of make a long-term plan for setting expectations?
So we
for
have.
what the teacher should be doing, moving off of platforms,
Yes,
stuff like
we have worked, we did train staff at the beginning, all staff were trained, and our first goal was getting people in, making sure that they could do direct messaging with families,
that? Okay,
as well as also able to do a post. So we have asked all of our teachers to do a weekly post that is learning related.
Yeah.
There is a calendar
Face.
interface, thank you. Interface that eventually we're gonna move people to being able to use that. But kind of this first step is making sure everyone can post, making sure everybody can direct message with families.
okay.
And there's other features, field trip forms and things like that. So we will definitely be moving to integrate all those pieces.
Yeah, I think that's a good cost savings opportunity for us too, like going paperless, right?
Yeah.
As we kind of push
Yeah.
forward with that instead of
Yeah.
sending out,
Will it be like we could fill out the forms online, or will it be for the parents to print out the form and submit the form?
No, it will be an online option.
Like
So.
e-sign for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
So, so we will be moving in that direction, but we have people in different places with with their comfort levels, and so this was our first step.
Any other questions for superintendent? Hearing none. Mrs. Moriarty will now give us the latest update on the strategic plan.
So not much to report since your last meeting. Our next meeting of the writing committee is 9/16. So you do have the drafts in your packet. That is on one page number I did not write
26.
down. Sorry, what page number?
26.
26, thank you. If you have any suggestions, please either connect with me, Siobhan, Nancy, or Ed before the 16th. We're hoping on the 16th to really try to finalize a working, a final draft of our vision, mission, and our foundational principles.
Any other strategic plan thoughts? All right, legislative meeting update. I've just left this on here to make sure we get this done, but there's nothing new to report. We still need to, other than I think we're shooting for October sometime to try to have this. So stay tuned, please. Mrs. Moriarty, opening highlights.
Sure, thank you. So page 28, every year we start with, again, reminding our teaching and learning practices and how we align them. Traditions, we have a tradition that every student gets a phone call home to welcome their family to the start of the new year. We've added this year the new tradition of weekly learning posts from classrooms to families, and then also our schools to our communities. So principals are working to do that. We have, at the high school level, because you might have a teacher who has 3 classes, they're looking at doing like maybe their A block week 1, B block week 2, D block. We also don't want to overwhelm families with too much. Our district goals, we have adjusted them for the change in the accountability standard from the Department of Education, so 30% for SAS and 70% for growth targets within WEA. Our focus areas are strengthening family and community engagement. Parent Square is certainly a piece of that to help with that, but also creating intentional opportunities to engage with families and the community. Continuing to enhance our special education and 504 implementation, prioritizing active supervision, contributing to the strategic vision, and continuing to explore AI integration. So those are our overarching goals as a district for this school year. On page 29 through 40, you have, this was an opening presentation. There's some, highlights in there that, for instance, 108 educators participated in Competency Camp this summer. There were 12 different professional learning events. There were 9 facilitators, and over 1,500 hours of professional learning were accomplished. So trying to highlight the things that have been accomplished. There's some nice highlights for facilities as well. I won't go through all of them, but it was a very positive opening. From the opening with staff to the opening with students has been very smooth. And as Caleb had shared, the 7 through 12 experience at the Meredith Public Library, the Americans and the Holocaust, that exhibit was just an outstanding learning opportunity. It was certainly emotional, and it certainly was thought-provoking. The Meredith Public Library did a phenomenal job. We're very grateful to them for this experience. And for welcoming us so kindly. So that was I think, thank you to our students and to our staff, because the first week of school was a hard week to do that. But the exhibit was closing. So it was the opportunity, the exhibit came in July and was closing at the end of the week. And I think they were able to extend it by 1 day so we could get all of the students there. And, that took a lot of effort on a lot of people's parts. And our students, were great models of being good citizens and being respectful and being kind and contributing to others while they were there. And so what a great experience. So very pleased by it. 2 lovely recognitions. We received today, the National Federation of High Schools Award of Excellence for exemplary display of sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity for our 2024-2025 school year's athletic season, so that's a nice honor. And also, our athletic director, Sarah Jemay, received an Outstanding Service Award from the New Hampshire Athletic Directors Association. So it's nice, it was a great first 6 weeks or so, or 6 days of school.
It felt like 6 weeks, but
6 weeks,
it's
but
only 6 days.
Great,
That's
thank you.
great.
Next up, this came up in light of some of the recent news regarding another school in the state, and some individuals who actually had calls from folks. So, financial audit process and update.
So I can start.
Superintendent, sure.
So page 41, I think would be helpful. So again, you know, obviously there's been news in the state, and it feels like a good opportunity to remind everybody that since 2004, the school district has undergone annual audits with no findings. That's significant. We also have attached a summary of the audit results for the past 3 years for your review. You could go back further. I don't want to overwhelm with paper. Our fiscal year 24 audit is in process. It has been delayed due to staff turnover. We've had a lot of, as you are aware, in our business office, we have new staff, and that takes people who have experience to train, which takes them away then from doing parts of the audit, as well as we did have a leave for part of the year. So we anticipate that to be completed by the end of the calendar year. Our goal will also be, so there's, you know, this office does 3 budgets. There's an SAU budget, there's the Interlakes budget, and the Ashland budget. So arrangements will be made for the auditors to speak directly to the SAU board at the December meeting. So our anticipation is that all those audits will be complete. The fiscal year 24, you can hear directly from the auditor. So we are in the process of preparing the 24-25 DOE 25, which Mrs. Dolph is working very hard on. That is due October 1st. Once that report is complete, that allows the books for the fiscal year 25 to be closed, which then allows the preparations for the fiscal year 25 audit to begin. We anticipate that will be completed during the fiscal years 26. That audit will be completed. So basically the spring, we would anticipate fiscal year 25 to be complete. Certainly Mrs. Dolph didn't need to steal your thunder. I did that in Ashland too, but.
You did a wonderful job.
I would also,
Is that your typical calendar for preparing the audits?
For the audits, typically I would say yes, the spring. I feel like you're receiving
Typically
the
around
Yeah.
April, May.
Yeah.
yes.
and also the superintendent reached out to the School Board Association to see what guidance they had. And it sounded like they were relooking at some of their stuff too, and coming up with some new practices. So there may be additional things that we will consider in the not too distant future, within the next 6 to 12 months, I would think. You know, when something like this happens in the state, it's a big deal, and something will come out, I'm sure.
I think the key is we've had good results, year after year. And I think questions that are on page 42 are just helpful to look at in terms of that comes directly from the auditor's report. The auditor's report has a lot of language, and then there's this table or these questions at the end that I think are really important to realize that they have been answered from the auditor in a way that reflects positively on our fiscal practices. In addition, Mrs. Dolph and I have been reviewing just all of our financial policies just to confirm that things are in alignment. You know, we are pleased to report that we are in a good place.
I have a question about the last question. If the auditee qualifies a low risk auditee, it's yes, no, no. What does that mean?
So that has to do with the amount of grant funds that you have or
That you
the-
receive.
Got it.
So
Yes. Yep.
it's a threshold thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I'm assuming that there's no requirement for the board to formally approve the audit each year, is that correct?
So that has not been the case. It has been sent to the board. It
Right.
has gone out to the board, but that's certainly something that could change. I think, I think conversations with Chair Hansen about having the auditor meet with the board, I think is a great practice.
That was recommended by the School Board Association. too.
Yeah, and so maybe that's an opportunity then for the boards to formally accept it. At least it
Sounds
would
reasonable.
acknowledge that the board has
Had a chance
has
to
officially,
cast its eye on it.
right, like, I think that would probably be a healthy market of time, right?
Right,
Like, at this point in time, the board has accepted it.
That seems reasonable.
Great, thank you, Mary and Ashley.
Yep, Ashley, and thank you to Ashley and Kayla and that team.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. Very helpful for me, as I've been through this before this year, and so understanding that is helpful.
Great. School meal program, unpaid balances update. Did you happen to notice the front page of the daily?
Yeah,
Sun?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
And our policy does not allow for charges if you have a negative balance.
Correct, a la carte
Yeah.
items, yes.
So that's already in place.
The way I was reading that though is they won't allow you to continue to rack up charges with like they've made like an essential, if you get the lunch, but if you want a la carte items, you can't continue to charge if you have a balance. Is that?
I thought I read, like, they could pay cash for an hour.
Yes, cash, oh, yes, they
Yeah.
can use,
Yeah.
yes.
Or
Yeah.
the debit
Yeah.
card started
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
So
Yeah.
some things are totally fine, but
Yeah.
extras are not.
Yeah, yeah, and I would say that is our case.
Mhm.
So that's in line with what our policy has been.
So
So,
actual meals.
yes, yes.
So this was the Laconia Sun this morning
Yeah.
had an article on,
About
The
Laconia.
Laconia School
Yes.
District.
Sounds like they just enacted the policy.
I see,
Much higher debt.
Yeah, they were like 60,000, I thought I read.
a much bigger district, I'm sure.
So, I mean, I think the reality is, I think many districts are seeing this. I want to commend Mrs. Dolliff and her team for trying to work very hard to address negative balances, to try to, communicate with families. And they've been doing a lot to do that. However, we are seeing still about between $10,000 and $12,000. It may come to a point that we are asking the board to absorb that, and then that would follow under practices for what's considered bad debt. So we are actively trying to work. We have been working to try to make sure if there are families in needs, that those debts are being cleared. We did receive last month a donation, as you recall. I'm not mixing up districts. Was that Ashland or here?
We did
Heart
from
and
Heart
Hands,
and Hands.
yes, did here as well. And so, we are actively trying to see if people will donate. My opening letter to all families, I put something about donating if people wanted to do that. And so, we're at a point that, some districts have gone to small claims court. I would not recommend that. I think that's a really negative relationship that we need with our families, and there can be a host of reasons for families. So, but that is certainly something that I think if we come to you and say we're at this point that we want to clear this as bad debt, if the board feels differently, we can certainly have that conversation. But I think, we're continue to make our best effort to collect what we can, but I think it will come to a point that we need to say we've
What-
exhausted our.
What point of the year will we be making that decision?
So, under
Yeah.
the federal regulations, we have a reasonable amount of time to collect those funds. We're not able to carry negative balances within the food service fund itself. So I would say maybe another month or two where we're looking at
Okay, so
before
it's-
we come back and
Yeah,
say.
I was just curious, it's like a before
We
annual
need to-
meeting versus.
Yes,
Yes.
I really would recommend getting through the month of October because that is the month where we really identify our free and reduced students.
Right.
So we'll have a better idea of where we're at.
This is also like, what, 1/3 of 1% of our like school budget?
Yeah, it's a small amount.
Moving forward, I mean, this seems like something that happens most years, and this number seems to be kind of landing in the same general area each year now. I would think it would be reasonable to address this moving forward for next year and subsequent years in the budget process.
Agreed.
And I guess, just as the beginning conversation, how would we do that? Would we set up an expendable trust or something, just carry it as an account?
It could become a line item.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a line item that we should have in next year's budget, because it's gonna happen next year.
And what I will say, it's great that we're hiring staff, but that those unfilled positions over the previous years have created more opportunity for unexpected expenses in the budget. So the fact that this is becoming more of a regular occurrence does make sense to plan
Just
for it.
plan for it. Yeah. Great, thank you. One other item I should have asked to include that as D would be the School Board Association's annual meeting, voting on resolutions. And Ed brought this up last year. He felt like it would be nice if the board would actually give guidance to whomever goes, that's what Ashland has done for many years. So in October, at the October meeting, we are gonna vote on all the resolutions, what we
Great.
wanna do. And so that whomever goes, because Ed told me, or he emailed me that he may not be able to make it, so we may have to have somebody else go or something like that. We'll have the board
I
position.
went even though I didn't need to last year.
So I think she's volunteering.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
say
I
that.
was
Thank
gonna
you,
say
Siobhan.
Abe is new.
Yeah.
That's true.
And defenseless.
I don't have more with him than any other person if we discussed everything beforehand.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah, that would be
that's,
helpful.
I think, a nice change.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Donation item, Mrs. Moriarty.
So we're very appreciative of the Geraldine Ann Fountain Memorial Foundation, who continues to support the Naturalists in the Classroom, which is through Prescott Farms, and it's a $4,500 donation.
I would entertain a motion to accept this with gratitude.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Second.
Seconded by Nancy. Any other discussion on the donation item? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Foundation. Light Up Lakers campaign donations from New Hampshire Snow Pros in the amount of $2,000 and the Abishan Company in the amount of $1,000, both banner sales.
I move to accept with great gratitude.
Thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Nancy. Too slow, Jim. Any other discussion on this? Questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So this is also new. We've added this other business. If anybody has any other items, to make sure that we just say, does anybody have any other items so we don't skip to the end? Okay. Well, I'm gonna close public comment at 6:33. And our next meeting is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. A reminder that we have a negotiations meeting Thursday at 4, is it 3:30 or 4?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock with our attorney. And are there any other strategic plan?
And that one's here, it's just us, not with the.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Did you want to mention the 17th Gary Perkins thing?
No.
Okay. You wanted to make an announcement.
Thank you.
Okay.
But no.
It's like one of those things where you say, oh, no, I can't tell you that. Then you want to know it.
Well, I'm kind of
Oh, and
surprised.
there was no public comment? I just.
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you for
Oh,
asking.
yeah, Chris, I'm sorry. Did you have anything you wanted to?
Kind of, and just on the deficit for the lunch thing, is that out of inability to pay or can pay but don't pay?
I think that's difficult to answer. We are trying to ascertain that.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
All clear, Mr. Parsons?
All clear?
All clear.
All clear. I'm like, I didn't. Not really.
You have a long day?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Seconded by Nancy, moved by Siobhan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much.